สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับพร้อมนะครับ
Greetings, everybody. I hope everybody is okay.
ครับอาจารย์
Okay, Felicia Chan from Malaysia. You're the first one today.
Good evening, Prajan. I have to look up. Prajan, I have a question. When I meditate, my samadhi very still and calm. The mind automatically become as an outsider, like watching TV, but I am not affected by the image. When my leg feel pain, if I look carefully, the pain will disappear. It is not real. The thinking and feeling are also the same. Prajan, is my practice is correct?
Yes, you want to be calm and neutral, not reacting to what you experience. Just merely knowing. Know that they come and go. They are anicca, dukkha, anatta. Leave them all alone. Do not react to them. Okay?
Prajan, if I do like this, is it vipassana or samadhi?
It's samadhi, but it is samadhi when you're not reacting. When you want to react, then you have to use vipassana to stop your reaction. By telling you that it's useless, it's a waste of time to react to anything. It's better not to react emotionally anyway. You should not react with love, hate, or delusion or fear.
Okay, Prajan, I have another question. I never read Abhidharma. All the while, I believe in karma, anicca, dukkha, anatta very much. I focus my practice in my dana, sila, and meditate. Someone advised me to read Abhidharma, but the people tell me Abhidharma will not help my practice. Prajan, should I read Abhidharma?
No, you don't need to. You just read the dana, sila, and pavana. That's all you have to know. And just practice dana. When you have the surplus money and you don't know what to do with it, then give it to charity. Sila, keep the 5 precepts or the 8 precepts. Pavana is to meditate with mindfulness to keep your mind calm and happy. And vipassana is to teach your mind that everything is impermanent. Everything will harm you if you want to possess them, want to own them, because you will not be able to own them forever. Sooner or later, you will have to lose them. This is all you have to know in your practice.
Okay, thank you. I'm Amaduna Prajan, sadhu.
Okay, you're welcome.
Sadhu.
Next, Kenneth, professor from Switzerland. How are you today? Good?
Good afternoon, Ajahn. I'm fine, thank you. I would like to ask a question today regarding the contemplation of death.
Yes.
because I've been using that recently for, I find it useful in situations where I'm dealing with a difficult person, when feelings of anger arise, and I realize that in the end we're just the same and going the same way. I find it to be quite helpful to deal with the potential for anger to come up. Is that the right way to, or one of the correct ways to use death contemplation?
If it works for you, that's the right way. If it can solve your problem, if it can keep your mind calm and happy, then it is the right way. For each different people, they might use different method, but the goal is to become calm and peaceful and not affected by whatever you come across. Somebody is being bad to you, and you can say, well, in the end, we're all gonna end up in the casket anyway, most of us. That's fine. But if you want to use metta, forgive him, okay. Some people use metta, they say, maybe I did something wrong to this person in the past, now he's getting it back. So it's just like paying back your debt. So it's different people have different approach to this problem.
Okay.
Or you can look at anatta. His body and your body are made up of the 4 elements. Yeah. So which part of the body are you angry with? The earth element or the water element, and so forth. Yeah. Or the 32 parts. Are you angry at his hair or at his bones, at his skeleton? Which part of his body you're angry with?
Okay. Yeah. I also find that the death contemplation is useful to give kind of more impetus to the practice. Like, we don't have much time left, so we have to practice diligently. I think that's also been helpful as well. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right, because death is uncertain, right, when it's going to happen. So you don't know when your time is up, will be up. So it's better to use your time that you have now before it's taken away from you. So yes, death is a very good method of raising your awareness of the impermanence of things, and it can help you get rid of a lot of greed also. You know, you still wants to accumulate more money, you still wants to move up higher in your ranking or whatever you have. Then you say, when you think of that, and say, what's the point, right? In the end, we're not gonna take anything with us. So yes, but it doesn't apply. It doesn't mean that everybody can use it. Some people are just afraid of death. When you just think of the word death, it just paralyzes their mind. Really, they cannot do anything. But in that case, then they shouldn't use death as the contemplation object. But if it works for you, then congratulations. It's a very good method. It's the Abhidharma. If you want to talk about Abhidharma, this is the Abhidharma. This is the Dhamma of the highest level, the contemplation of death.
Yeah, I have found it useful in these areas. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Okay.
So it means your mind has a certain level of calm in order to be able to tackle death situation, and also has a certain level of wisdom that enable you to accept the truth of death.
All right.
So good for you. Very congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Try to use it to push you to do the practice.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ajahn.
Now that you know that maybe tomorrow might not be here for you, maybe today you're gonna practice hard today, walking 2 hours, alternating with sitting for 2 hours. See how, so that you can get as much out of your time as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Good.
thank you, Ajahn.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Next, Willie from Indonesia.
Good evening, Tanajan. Today I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay. Sajalka from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Thank you for your teaching, Tanajan. That with the responsibilities, the family responsibilities, I kind of find all the things that I am following, keeping the precepts and sleeping on the floor and not being entertained, watching anything, not following nothing. Everything has helped, and the cultivation of wisdom, anicca, dukkha, anatta, everything has helped. But how do I actually bring in the actual practice into my daily life? Because all the anxiety and all the things that I need to attend to because of next couple of years of responsibilities, this thing that how do people, I mean, I'm not unique because I think everybody's trying to practice in this framework. So what kind of advice do you give to them so that we can actually factor in the actual practice into the daily life?
Well, in your daily life, things keep changing all the time, right? Nothing remains the same. Today and yesterday probably might not be the same. Things happen differently. So this is anicca. So impermanent or changing. So you can always look at life as constantly changing, so that you can then not try to fix life to be in a certain way, because it might not be that way. So you might want to reduce your expectation and your design for your future, and instead let it happen, and then try to live with it happily, whatever is gonna happen, rather than trying to fix the future, and hope that it will happen that way, because things don't really, you can never tell what's going to happen tomorrow or the next hour. But for most of the time, things might be normal, but then suddenly something happens. So you have to prepare yourself for this unexpected situation that can arise at any time, such as death or illness among yourself, in yourself, or with the people you love, for instance. These are the things you always have to contemplate or prepare yourself for, so that when things happen, you're not taken aback. You're ready to deal with the situation calmly. So this is what I think you should apply in your daily life, is to constantly tell yourself that don't expect things to be the way you want them to be, because maybe for the most part they do happen the way you want them to be, but then suddenly sometimes things can go sour at any time, and you should be able to rise above it and just cope with it calmly and peacefully and happily even. You can say, yeah, my prediction is true. See, I'm a prophet now. I can tell what's going to happen. I can tell that things not going to happen, not going to be always the same, not always going to be the way I want it to be. Yeah. Then you will never be surprised or be taken aback. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Another aspect is anatta. Anatta is something, is nature. Everything is part of nature. Everything the work of nature. So like the wind, the weather, they are the work of nature. And you cannot predict or force them to be the way you want them to be.
But Tanajan, the people that you care for, and because of the maturity and coming to Dhamma, actually tells me I can see very clearly, logically, in a very simple manner, that whatever the close ones are doing is going to actually bring them more grief, maybe temporary pleasure, but it is going to guarantee to bring grief. But as you said, that I may tell them not to do that way, but would they listen? And they don't. So it's kind of I kind of smile within myself. I'm saying, yes, keep doing that, but I know that this is not the correct path. But even if I tell you there is a path available, you are not going to listen to me. And it's kind of a very funny situation. I think we are kind of very lucky to be drawn to this. That it gives us not just maturity and a peace and a quality that would have been completely absent otherwise. That the sense of detachment, the anicca and dukkha and anatta, that you made us see, for example, is extremely valuable. Whether I can practice in the real sense or not, but at least all these things that we've benefited from, and I actually wish that my closed ones will benefit from these. But I think that's not for me to really teach them. I offer them, but you said that it's up to them to accept. So after that, you give up, really.
That's why you have to look at them as the natural. They are natural things also.
Exactly.
You cannot direct them to do a certain thing a certain way. They have to do it in their own way. But you can give them the information, how to
Yes.
live, how to go about their life, in a way that will not hurt them. But if they don't want to take your advice,
Yes.
then you have to stop, because it will be annoying to them if you keep telling
Yes.
them all the time.
Right.
Better save your advice to someone who wants to listen to you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, Karen from San Jose. You have found San Jose. You have found your way back to San Jose.
No, that song has been in my head all week now.
By Dionne Warwick.
Yeah. Whoa. Anyway, oh, that's so funny. I read your book and that you were in Fresno, but I thought you worked so hard and studied and went to school, and I thought you probably didn't have any time for fun.
Well, I do have a little bit of time for fun, but most of the time I spend studying and working during the weekends.
Well, it sent you to the monastery, so I guess that's good for us, right? You answered my questions already. Professor Kenneth had my question, and that is so helpful, the idea of just always think about, if I think about death, and I have no problem with that, probably because of my age, but to use that when I feel like reacting, my problem is now that I'm becoming more aware of what I'm doing and how I'm reacting, I still can't seem to control my reaction. So I guess that's the first step, is to say, okay, here's my reaction. I see that I'm reacting. And then on top of learning what you just spoke with with Professor Kenneth and the gentleman from Virginia, that answered a lot of my question. But my other thing is, I'm so hard on myself afterwards. I'm just so mean to myself, and impatient, and just I'm hard on myself, and I'm wondering if there's anything that can also help with that part of it.
That's also reacting to yourself. So don't react to yourself. Just know yourself for what it is and leave it alone. And the way to improve yourself is to develop mindfulness. The more mindfulness you have, the more you will be able to control your mind, yourself, to stop reacting, to remain calm and peaceful. So this is what you need. What you lack is mindfulness. I mean, you have a certain level of mindfulness, but not enough to completely get rid of all your reaction yet. So that's what you want to do. You want to do more mindfulness. Try to
Okay.
control your thoughts and emotion from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. That's the practice.
Yeah.
That's the real practice. You don't need to be anywhere to practice. You can practice anywhere if you are developing mindfulness. By constantly force your mind to focus on something to keep it from reacting or wondering, thinking about this and that. It has to be merely knowing what to do, for instance, knowing that you are brushing your teeth, that you are washing your face, that you are changing your dress, eating, and so forth. Just keep merely watching and don't think about other things. Forget about the past; it's already gone. Don't worry about the future; it's not here yet. All you want to do is to be aware of the present, to what's going on, especially in your mind. Stop it from thinking. Only think when you really have to. Then you will be able to control your reaction. Because your reaction comes from your thoughts. You have to think before you react.
Oh, thank you. That's brilliant. That helps so much. Thank you very much.
And also you have to meditate in between your mindfulness session. Whenever you have the time, you don't have to do anything. Just sit down and be mindful of your breath.
Okay.
Simple. Just close your eye and just keep watching your breath, like you were watching your body before that. You were watching your body when your body is walking, doing things. So when you're not doing things or walking, then you watch your breath when you sit down.
That's actually getting easier. Watching my breath is getting easier.
Yes,
So-
the more mindfulness you have, the easier it will become. If your mindfulness is not strong, your mind wants to run away from your breath, so you find it difficult.
Yeah, my mind still runs away, but it's getting better a
It's
little,
all over
little
the
bit.
place, right? Your mind's all over the
Oh,
place.
Yeah, always. Yeah. But now I see it. And then I would get mad at myself, but it's slowly getting better. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Don't get mad at yourself. You hurt yourself by getting mad at yourself.
Yeah, that's so helpful to think of that as also reacting.
That's
like
right.
like I'm a separate person. I'm reacting to that.
Yes.
That's helpful. Very helpful. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Is that all for now?
Yes, thank you.
All
Thank you,
right.
everybody, for your questions. It helps me too. I appreciate it.
Okay. Next, Cook Sing from Singapore.
Yeah, John. Yeah, tonight I have two questions. The first one is to clarify my understanding of Ajahn, what you have taught us about mindfulness and wisdom. And that is, you have taught us that to overcome our sensual desires, we have to try to use our wisdom to overcome it. Meaning we use our mind to teach our bodies and to control the sensual desires. But if our wisdom is not developed yet, we have to use our mindfulness, meaning when I realize that my mind is fixing or attached or clinging to that sensual objects, I must quickly restrain my senses, my self-control. So is this understanding, is my understanding correct, Ajahn?
Yes, you can restrain your sensual desire on two levels. The first level is to use mindfulness. If you cannot use wisdom, if you cannot see that the sensual objects will cause you dukkha sooner or later because of their impermanent nature and anatta nature, then you just have to stop thinking about them by reciting a mantra or focus on your body, on whatever your body is doing, so that you can forget about the sensual objects that you desire for. But with the first step, mindfulness, this is a temporary measure, temporary fix. With wisdom, it will be a permanent fix. Once you see the objects that you crave for will hurt you, then you will not want to have that object anymore. That's permanent. Okay.
Question is, about contemplation and the contemplation of what you've taught, and then in reality. So there's this thought comes to me, and this contemplation, I'm able to contemplate that if I'm infected by the COVID virus, if I'll get a cure, and if I recover, then it's okay, and if I've not recovered, it's also okay. So the contemplation, I'm able to able to think it in theory. However, when the case when the COVID case in Singapore is rising, so there is this fear in me, and I was actually looking forward to the booster jab. So today, when I have the booster jab, I realized that there's this fear in me that I'm afraid of getting infected. And even though in theory, I may contemplate that, it's okay, it's just the body infected, not the mind. So my question is, I find there's this disparity between what my mind is thinking or contemplating and what my body is feeling. Yeah. So
that's because when you come to face with reality, you forget about what you had contemplated. So you want to bring that what you had contemplated to apply to the reality. And okay, you've been contemplating that your body is anicca, it's impermanent. It's gonna be subjected to sickness and death sooner or later. Now you have to apply it to the real situation. So now COVID-19 is very close to me. Maybe I will be affected. Maybe I'll die from it. So what? And you say, what can I do? It's beyond your ability to prevent it if it's gonna get into your body somehow. So you just have to accept the truth. That's all, the truth of the reality, because this is what you've been contemplating on before. But when you come to face with reality, you're not applying what you had contemplated. So you don't pass the test. Then you have to ask yourself, what do you want, dukkha or no dukkha? If you don't want dukkha, then you have to accept reality. Stop resisting the reality. If you resist, you will always be constantly living in fear, with dukkha. But if you accept reality, then you will not be resisting reality. Then there will be no dukkha in your mind. So it's just a matter of whether the question is really multiple choice. There's only two choices. You have to check. One is accept reality or deny reality. If you keep denying, you get dukkha. If you keep accepting, you get no dukkha. So when you might have to go and contemplate more and ask yourself, what do you want, dukkha or no dukkha? If you want dukkha, you keep resisting the reality. You don't want to get sick. If you don't want dukkha, then you say, okay, if I should get sick, so be it. Accept it for what? Then there will be no dukkha. Because dukkha arises from the desire not to get sick. This is the cause of dukkha, the desire of craving, not to get sick. But reality teaches you that sooner or later you're going to get sick. And if you don't want to have dukkha, then you just have to let it be when the time comes for that to happen. Now you have the reality forced upon you. Before when there was no pandemic, we lived quite in a delusional world that there's no sickness affecting us. We're gonna have good health forever. But then suddenly come the pandemic. Then you come face to face with the truth of that the body will have to get sick and die eventually. So it's better just to accept it and then then you will be forever safe from dukkha. Once you accept, okay, I'm gonna get COVID-19, fine. If I'm gonna die from it, fine. Just accept it. Then I guarantee you there will be no dukkha as far as getting sick from COVID or dying from COVID, because you accept it already.
It's
Okay.
the meditation.
Yeah, when you accept, then you stop your desire not to get sick, not to die from COVID-19. If you still, oh, I don't want to get sick from COVID-19, I don't want to die, then you are creating the cause of dukkha, which is your desire not to get sick, not to die. Then you will be constantly living in fear with anxiety and worry. But once you accept it, okay, I'm gonna die sooner or later, I'm gonna have to get sick sooner or later. If now is the time, let it be. And, okay, once you can do that, your fear of sickness and death will be completely eliminated from yourself forever. You'll live peaceful, happy, not worrying about getting sick, not worrying about dying anymore. So you should thank the pandemic. It's a blessing in disguise, really. It's forcing you to take the examination or the test. And you can find out whether you pass it or not. There's only two choices in this test. Two choices, multiple choice. Yes or no, accept or no, accept, not accept. Like when you install a program, they ask you, would you accept the conditions of this program or not? If you accept, then you can use the program. If you don't accept, then you cannot use the program. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah, I think that's very clear.
All right. Next, Alfredo Ubeka. I give you your Pali name, Ubeka.
Hi, Bhante.
How are you?
I'm okay. Yesterday, I went to hospital to my bronchitis,
Bronchitis.
corticoid in my vein. Today I'm okay.
Okay.
My practice is very, very good. Viveka.
You're not affected by your illness.
Oh, I like for asubas. No body, no meal, no word, no things of word. The word is beautiful, but it's not for me. I'm a little practicant. My name is in Chinese Buddhism is a simple practicance. One thing, a simple practice.
Simple practice, simplicity.
Yes, one thing in Chinese.
Okay,
good. In Japanese, what?
Go ahead. In Japanese.
In Japanese is a very good name in Buddhism. The terra pura, pure land, is truth. A practice that have truth in Japanese.
In Pali, it's ubeka.
It's ubeka.
Same thing.
Oh yes, truth is very, very important. I talk about truth of other people's, they don't understand.
No, because they are blind. So they have to open up their eyes before they can understand. So They have to practice first. They have to practice until they see their mind and they will understand what we are talking about. Right now they cannot see their mind. They only see the body, and they think they are the body.
Yes.
They don't know that in truth they are not the body, they are the mind.
They not use the mind correctly. Yeah. And my name is Theravada. In Theravada is very good name, Bhante. You don't know my name is Theravada, Bhante.
I give you one right now, Ubeka.
Banchi Otaraniana from Burma.
From Burma. I see. What does it mean?
He gives the name because he was in my house for 2 weeks in Brazil,
I see.
and I cooking for him. I dishes. I wash dishes for him. He not work, not dishes, not have, not he not do nothing. And advice what name he has to me.
Yes.
Advice.
Advice. What name he gives you?
I am his secretary.
You are his secretary.
Ananda.
Ananda, I see. The Buddha secretary, assistant.
Ananda is good adventure.
Okay.
He's
All right.
very, very good.
Stay a servant. You will be happy being a servant rather than being a master.
What?
You try to remain a servant. Don't be a master. A servant will always be happy. A master will always be unhappy because master will demand for this and that, while a servant will always comply. Yes.
Yes, I'm the Chinese name, a simple practitioner. I'm only practice, only study Buddhism.
Okay.
Very okay.
All right. Stay calm. Stay happy. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then we go to Alvin from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. I don't have any question today.
Okay. Kiet Genso from Penang, Malaysia also.
Good evening, Tanajan. I like Tanajan teaching on accepting the dates, right? It's very useful during the pandemics right now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you accept it yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you're not afraid. Then you're not worried.
Learning is in a state of learning. Yeah.
But you should still look after your body, though. You should protect your body, keep it lasting for as long as possible, because you can do good things for people and yourself with your body. Okay.
Thank you, Tanajan.
You're welcome. Next, Sri Czech from Vancouver, Canada.
Tanajan.
Tanajan.
I like Fredo's name, Ajahn.
Maybe you should use that name also yourself. It's a good name for everybody if you can do
it. Can I use the name too, Ajahn?
Yeah, it's not copyrighted.
I thought Alfredo copyrighted.
You just say Ubeka number 1, Ubeka number 2.
Okay, I think I want to be number 2 then.
Ubeka Junior, the second. Okay. You got any question?
Ajahn, you always talk about like metta when like you be with people. It's like you practice metta by being with people and not like sitting there and radiating. It's kind of it's imaginary. But,
that's right. You have to do it in real time.
Sorry, Ajahn.
You have to do it in real time with people.
Right. However, I think metta is also a method of meditation, Ajahn. It's one of the kammatthana.
Yes, when you have metta, your mind is calm. When you're angry, your mind is not. But it doesn't bring you into jhana, but it keeps your mind normal instead of getting all heat up, all angry, and when you have metta, you forgive, then your anger will disappear, and then you remain calm and happy. Have you heard of the 10 benefits you get from having metta?
Yes, Ajahn.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a little bit so I'm sorry to say that, but like maybe not that scientific. Maybe like you can't be hurt, like you can't be poisoned something, or you can't be hurt by the.
Yes, if you don't hurt other people, nobody will hurt you. If you hurt someone, they will retaliate. If you make somebody angry or hate you, then they will try to poison you or assassinate you. But if you're always nice to them, you always give them Christmas gift every day, not just during Christmas, I guarantee you they won't assassinate you. They want to protect you.
But sometimes Ajahn, like accidentally, like.
Does anybody want to assassinate Santa Claus? Santa Claus is the embodiment of metta. See? Everybody loves Santa Claus. That's why the Buddha said one of the benefits of having metta is you'll be loved by everybody, both human and non-human.
It's so true.
Even the dogs will love you, right? If you're nice to the dogs, the dog will love you. So be nice. Metta is being nice to other people. That's what it means. Be nice, be kind.
Right. That's makes perfect sense. But just my logic is like sometimes like accident, like the story sounds like even with accident you won't get it. Like
no, you die from some accident, something that happened. Not intentionally, you can still be dead by that in an automobile crash or something like that. Yeah, this is unavoidable. You know.
I think that's
as far as being intended to be killed by someone with intention, you won't be. Because you're Santa Claus. Once you're Santa Claus, you're safe.
I think that's my misunderstanding, Ajahn.
Okay.
I think I misunderstood. Like, for example, being poisoned. I thought like, oh, maybe sometimes you accidentally take poisonous food and then you might die. But like, if you have metta, you won't die. But I guess you clear up my stupid misunderstanding.
Yeah, misunderstanding.
So accident is different from the
intentional killing.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Again, I misunderstood the sutta, the reading of the sutta. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's stupid of me. Sorry.
Any question from Chen or Sri?
Yeah, Tan Ajahn, since we're talking about the benefits, like from the sutta, I also use like Buddha also said the benefits of being mindful. So sometimes during my meditations, if I lose mindfulness, I always think of that sutta to help me to further improve my mindfulness. Is that okay?
Yes, if it does help you to come back to your mindfulness, and that's the purpose. You want to stay with mindfulness as much as possible, and sometimes you might find it useless. Then if you think about the benefit that you can get from being mindful, then it will inspire you to come back to develop more mindfulness.
Yeah, okay. Not like to gain something, but but this is a good gain.
Yeah, good reminder for you why you should be mindful. Because once you're mindful, then you can have samadhi, you can have jhana, then you can develop wisdom, and so forth.
Yeah, okay.
So if you can find something to always bring yourself back to the practice of mindfulness, then that's very good.
Yeah,
rather than being lost, don't know what to do. As soon as you realize you're not being mindful, then you think of the sutta, and the sutta then tell you what you will get from being mindful. Then you will get the inspiration to practice more mindfulness.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what you taught me. So I went back to look for suttas last time, and then sometimes it will come up now more often.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all for me.
Okay.
Yeah, thank
Philip,
you.
okay, you're welcome. Philip, where's your wife or your partner?
Good evening, Tanajan. She's actually listening in the room, and I think tutoring the children.
Okay.
Yeah, she's listening on Facebook. Yeah, yeah.
Any question today?
I don't have any questions tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then we go to Belinda from Singapore.
Hello, Tanajan. No questions tonight. Thank you.
No question. Okay. Gary from Singapore also. Gary?
Good to see you, Tanajan. There's no questions from me tonight. Thank you.
Okay, and then I'll go to Paul Westbury from Virginia. Hi, Paul.
Hello, Ajahn. Yes, I had a question in regards to, I have an aspiration to maybe be a Dhutanga monk one day. And I know in the United States, it's kind of the support, the donor support is a bit low for doing something like that. If I have such a high aspiration, and I still practice my meditation daily, I practice meditation daily, but I'm wondering if I should practice meditation more at this stage, or if I should do different, maybe not necessarily austerities, but maybe walk further distances for meditation, or sleep on the floor, or eat less. Those practices seem a bit more helpful for the like resilience that we can develop. But the meditation, sometimes if I just drive home and I come to sit on my comfortable meditation cushion, this doesn't always seem like the most valuable thing for my aspiration.
Yes, it depends on your preference, I guess, which works for you. If you can practice at home and advance in your practice, then there's no need to go on austere practices. But you find that if you live among the comfort of your home, you find it very hard to advance in your practice, then you want to change the environment, go to a more austere environment, which will then force you to be more mindful, more resilient in your practice.
Okay, so does that mean that this should only be for my own benefit? Because like my aspiration is more like out of a compassion for like communities, and let's say I live near the Appalachian Mountains, and there's a lot of drug use and a lot of uneducation and low jobs. Like people don't have jobs that well there. And I feel like they could really benefit from a sangha being in their communities. So out of compassion, I kind of have an aspiration like this. But should I kind of not put so much focus on that and worry more about, liberating myself, first of all?
Yes, you should worry more about liberating yourself and worry about other people later on. Once you are liberated, then you also have to choose the community that you want to help liberate, to see if they are ready for liberation or not. Because some community they don't want liberation from dukkha. They want to remain in dukkha. They want to remain in the world, in the mundane life. So it depends where you go after you have become enlightened. You have to go maybe from community to community to find which one is receptive to your teaching also. If they're not receptive, then it's useless to teach them. But this is come after you have finished your own work first. Finish your own work, get yourself enlightened. Then you can then go help other people to become enlightened also.
Yeah, the Appalachian Mountains seem like a very useful place to do something like this one day. There's a lot of there's maybe 20 or 30 different houses on the side of the mountain because they don't have so much land that they can spread out very far. So there's like kind of like little villages in certain areas that it just seems like it would be a very nice place, and have a little cave or somewhere you meditate. But this is a very lofty ideal, but yeah, I guess I just need to stick with my practice. But should I keep that inspiration, that aspiration in mind every once in a while, or does this make me too I guess naive in a way, or too lofty?
Once you're enlightened, your compassion will come out automatically. But you also have wisdom with your compassion. You will also have to be discerning as to which community you want to serve, you want to help. Because in order to make things work, it has to come from both sides, you and the community that you're trying to serve, whether they're receptive to your teaching or not. But right now you only have the compassion side without the wisdom side, the discernment side. So you think in a really fairy tale way, oh yes, it would be nice to go to this community and spread the Dhamma, and they all become enlightened, But it doesn't work that way, though. In reality, you might not be welcome. You say you're trying to change the religion. If they already have their own religion, for instance.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I understand. Yeah.
But you can try. I'm not saying that you cannot do anything, but you just have to measure the result also, whether it's worthwhile or not. It brings any benefit or not. Not just to fulfill your dream, of spreading the Dhamma teaching to these communities. But that's far ahead, though. Right now, what you need to do is become enlightened first.
Yeah. Are there certain? I mean, there's certain characters of bhikkhus to train with for these types of practices. Is that right, Ajahn? Like, if I just practice at like a big monastery in a city somewhere, I don't know if it will ever be conducive for a potential Dhutanga practice. What are your thoughts on?
No, if you want practice, you have to go to the Thai forest tradition monastery. They more or less they bring Dhutanga right into the monastery itself, because nowadays it's not easy to go Dhutanga away from from the monastery, because it's people don't know you, and they sometimes can be suspicious of you. So we have forest monastery which resemble a Dhutanga environment in which you can be alone and practice undisturbed.
Yes, maybe I can.
But if you want to go wandering, once you have established a certain level of mindfulness, and you want to go into the forest and live there, you can do that also. But you need somebody who has experience to guide you, because as monk you always have to depend on other people for your food. You cannot cook your own food. You cannot carry your own food with you. You have to be nearby a small village to collect food. So you might camp out from the village, a couple of miles from the village, and then every morning you walk into the village to collect food.
Yeah, I will have to keep this goal in mind every once in a while. But this is something I've wanted to do for 10 plus years. I've wanted to do practices like this, and I always had the lofty ideal. But I've got to get on the cushion, and I've got to actually get that mindfulness and keep that spark going. because I'm getting older and older, you know.
Yes.
Eventually I'm gonna settle down in a house and forget about everything, maybe.
Yes, try to get
That's
rid
what I'm
of the
worried about.
supporting the comfort. Try to get rid of the comfort that supports your practice. Try to practice without any support, any comfort support. Just sit on the floor without having to have a cushion, for instance. Sleep on the floor instead of sleeping on the bed.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn. I'll try that. Maybe I will practice on the Upasata day.
That's
Maybe
right.
tonight. Tonight is a good night for the. I think the full moon is tomorrow.
2 more days. Tomorrow is the 14th. 2 more days. Thursday will be the full moon day. Will be Uposatha day on Thursday.
Oh, and the Thai tradition, do they practice the night before or the night? The night of.
The night of the same day of the full moon.
Same day. Okay.
Yeah, same day.
I will try to work in step by step and come back to reality of what I can do.
Yes. Try to keep the 8 precepts first before you want to do any more austere than that. The 8 precepts is also an austere practice, a low level austere practice. Then you want to move up to maybe the Tanga, which is eating once a day and sleep out, camping, not sleeping in the house, sleeping under a tree or some shade, or sleeping in a cemetery, for instance. These are the Dhammatalk practices.
Thank you, Ajahn. This is inspiring to hear, and this is why I always tune in to keep that motivation going. Yeah. Thank you,
Okay,
Sadhu.
you're welcome. Next, Martina from Indonesia. Martina,
Hello, Ajahn.
can you speak louder, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Ajahn, my question is, it's very hard for me to be very mindful or to do any mindfulness practice. Can you advise me what is the best practice to do?
Just to be careful when you do things, just be careful. Just keep watching what you do and make sure you don't do anything wrong when you do things. This is one way of developing mindfulness, is to be careful with whatever you do. Can you do that?
I don't really understand what you mean with be careful.
Like, don't keep watching what you do and don't go thinking about other things when you're doing something. Keep focused on what you do.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
All right. Next, Sulan from Singapore.
Hello, Ajahn. Nice to see you again.
Okay, you have any report to make?
I don't have any report to make.
Okay, any question then?
I think not for now. Yeah.
Okay, you just want to listen for now.
Yeah, I just want to listen for now.
Okay. Then let me go to
Thank you.
Thirapat. Kun Am, okay. You have any question? No question, just listening. Okay. Let me go to B. Lavin Chinnapon from Bangkok.
Good evening, Thanajan. Just like to say I really enjoyed your teachings so far today, and I learned something new. Everybody loves Santa Claus. That's something that I remember for a very long time.
Yeah. That's the embodiment of metta. Someone who gives and never takes. That's what metta means. To give and not to take back in return. Not to expect anything in return. Only to make other people happy. Can you do that? Can you be a Santa Claus all the time, not just on Christmas?
I'm trying to practice more metta when I have an opportunity. I try to use it whenever I'm in a situation where I'm under pressure, where somebody is criticizing me, in a certain way. I try to use metta to convince myself, oh, it's okay, criticism is a part of life, maybe don't judge them, maybe they have their reasons. So yeah, I'm trying to practice it.
Try not to react with anger when people criticize you or did something bad to you. Just say, this is a gift from you to them. You allow them to be mad, to be bad at you. This is a gift. If this is what makes them happy, right? Okay, let them do it. Because you want to make people happy. And if they in order for them to be happy is for them to criticize, okay, let them do it.
We're actually making merit for them.
That's right.
Actually, I also really like your quote earlier on where you said that, are you angry at the hair? You're angry at the eyes, the body? Which part of the body are you angry at? That also got me thinking that it's true. It's not a self at all. It's just which part.
Yeah. Just like an automobile, right? When you look at the automobile, you like a certain part of the automobile, right? Or you like the steering wheel, or you like the seat, or you hate that part, or you hate this part.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, no question tonight.
I do have one question.
Okay, go ahead.
Thanajan. So it's actually regarding the four Brahma Viharas. I understand that you mentioned very often that Ubekkha is very important for us to establish, whether in samadhi, outside samadhi, to lead in our daily lives. So my question is, the other three, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, do I understand correctly that these are three factors that we need to support Ubekkha in order to achieve the goal of liberation?
No, see, the three Metta, Karuna, Ubekkha is for you to treat other people with. And you need to have Ubekkha to treat yourself with.
Oh.
See, when things become overbearing, like you try to help people and people don't appreciate, or you cannot help them, then you can become sad or disappointed. Then you need to have Ubekkha to support your mind, not to be sad or be disappointed, and just to accept the fact that people sometimes cannot be helped. So you just have to leave them alone, leave them to their own karma. So we have a saying that the metta, compassion, support the world, and ubekkha, support the one who has metta and compassion. Because without ubekkha, sometimes you can become overburdened by your trying to help other people. But with ubekkha, you know the limit that you can help, and once you reach that limit, you stop. You don't overtax yourself with trying to help people more than you can do. Then you need to have ubekkha and say, well, that's all I can do. So you have to learn to say no also. Saying no doesn't mean you have no compassion or no metta, but it's just the fact that there's so much you can do. Like you have a car and 10 people want to get in the car and you say, only you can take 6. You have to say no, That's what the ubekkha means. Yeah. You have to stop when you know that you cannot do anything more than that. To do more will hurt you, then you have to stop. That's why you have to practice mindfulness and meditation to get to ubekkha. Once you have ubekkha, then the other trees will come automatically from a mind that is peaceful and calm. Because a peaceful mind is a happy mind, a Santa Claus mind.
Yes.
Get it?
Yes, I understand. So the other three is will come once Ubeka has been established in the mind.
Then you can balance them. Do so much that you can do. Once beyond that, then you have to stop.
So it's
Okay?
about having moderation. Is that right?
That's right, moderation. Middle way is moderation. Not too much, not too little. The middle way. The way of Ubeka is the middle way. Some people thought Ubeka means not to do anything. No. You can do things, but you can only do to a certain level. Once you have reached that level, you have to stop. Because it's gonna hurt you if you try to do more than what you can do.
That's very insightful, Thanajan. Thank you very much for clarifying that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, let me go to another Bimi from Malaysia. You have to unmute your microphone first. Okay.
Ajahn, good evening. Sorry, I came in late because I have another gathering Buddhist group. Ajahn, I want to ask a question. When meditation, of course, there are other thoughts coming in while meditation, so we just take note, correct?
No, don't take note at all. Don't just ignore it completely and keep focusing on your meditation object only.
Yes.
Don't take note. Don't even have to take note.
Okay. And
just
then
come back to your meditation right away.
Okay. Then another question is, sometimes when I do the chanting, the other thoughts come in. Can Ajahn please advise?
Ignore them. Just ignore them. Just keep watching your breath or reciting the mantra.
Oh, just keep on doing the chanting.
Yeah.
Just ignore it.
Right. Like when you're doing something and you hear a dog barking, you just leave the dog barking alone. Don't pay any attention to it. Just focus on what you do.
Oh, but you realize there is something, but you just ignore it.
Ignore it. Don't pay any attention. Pay attention to your meditation object only.
Okay.
Don't be distracted.
Okay. Because I get worried about it. You see, why it comes. You see, even
you
though
don't have to worry.
my...
This is the nature of the mind. The mind constantly creating thoughts all the time. So when you're first starting, you cannot stop these thoughts from arising. But what you can do is to ignore them and just keep focusing on your meditation object. And as you are more focused, then these thoughts will become less and less. And eventually, they will all disappear.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Which Buddhist meditation group are you attending right now? Before?
No, it's not a meditation group. Before that, it was our so-called all our Buddhists together, and we have a discussion on the Dhamma.
Online, in Zoom, by
Zoom. Yes, in Zoom.
Also. Okay. All right. You have a teacher to supervise your conversation.
Yes. We have like sharing our thoughts, how we feel, like this.
All right. You find it beneficial?
Yes. Because we base on the Dhamma, we discuss like let's say, for example, mudita, how we experience mudita, you see.
I see.
Discussion.
Okay. Good.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Next, Johanna from Indonesia. Johanna.
Good evening, Ajahn. Today no question. I'm listening to your Dhamma teaching, Ajahn.
Okay. You're welcome. Now, where do I go next from here? No more people with their video on. So maybe I'll go to Facebook now for question. If there's any question from Facebook, Punda.
Yes, we have 3 questions from Facebook right now, Thanajan.
Please go ahead.
So question from Simon. Good evening, Ajahn. I am a beginner meditation practitioner, but I have heard from more experienced practitioners of terms such as fourth jhana. I presume there are levels such as first, second, third jhana. And the first question is, how do we identify each jhana in our meditation?
When you meditate, you don't have to identify them. They come up automatically if you keep focusing on your meditation object, and they will go from first to second to third and fourth automatically, like an automatic transmission of an automobile. You don't have to shift; you just put in drive, and then the automobile will do the shift for you, changing the gear for you. So as long as you keep focusing on your meditation object, your mind will steadily move from first to second to third and eventually to fourth jhana. So no need to worry about this different step when you meditate, but you can analyze afterwards, after you finish your meditation. You say, oh, this is first jhana, this is second jhana, so forth. But when you meditate, you must not analyze, because if you do, you will not move forward. Your meditation will fail. When you meditate, you want to stop thinking, stop analyzing. You just want to focus on your meditation object.
And second question is, what benefits does each jhana bring to our mind? Thank you.
It will bring you the happiness that is worth more than $1 million.
And last question from George Lim. Dear Ajahn, is there such a thing as, due to one's own karma, present knowledge and acquaintance to the Dhamma, there is only so much one can achieve and attain in Dhamma development? Meaning, maybe we are not destined to attain a higher level, or our time is not ripe yet to achieve more in this life. Can we come to terms or reality that our present wisdom, effort, and circumstances can only achieve certain potential levels of development? Thank you.
I think this is the misunderstanding or misperception of the Buddha's teaching. Because if you study the four foundations of mindfulness, the Buddha promised you or guarantee you that if you follow his teaching accordingly, as taught in the four foundations of mindfulness, you can become enlightened either 7 days or 7 weeks or 7 months or 7 years. So I think this is the perception or the understanding you should establish in yourself. Yes, that you are guaranteed by the Buddha himself. If you follow his teaching and practice the four foundation mindfulness correctly, you can become enlightened within this time period from 7 days to 7 years.
And one more question,ท่านอาจารย์, just come. Question from Eddie Gan.ท่านอาจารย์, if contemplate our body being cut by few parts, is this the right way to practice Asapa meditation? Thank you.
Being cut by what? By
being cut by few parts.
Few, F-E-W, few parts?
Yes.
I don't understand the question, being cut by few parts. What does that mean?
I think he asks about, in order to practice Asapa meditation, how can he contemplate the body by cut the body into a few parts? Can he do that?
Cutting up the body? Yes, you can do it mentally, but don't do it physically. You don't go cut people's body or your own body. When you cut up your own body to see the unpleasant nature of your body, like open up your chest, your stomach, so that you can see what's under the skin. For instance, you can do this mentally by looking up in anatomy book, for instance, to see the various organs inside your body. You can do this mentally, so that you can see that under the skin, there are so many unpleasant things that we have in our body, so that we can then get rid of our desire, our sexual desire toward a person's body. Okay, any more question on Facebook?
No more question right now.
Okay, I see we have Evie just came in. Evie, your turn. You got any question?
Yeah, Ajahn. Can Ajahn hear me?
Yes, can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, Ajahn, I have a question. When I meditate, I use Itipiso. I read Itipiso with focus, but up to 42 times, the Itipiso sentences start to change another word, and I immediately return it to Itipiso again. Is this because of the weak mindfulness? How to maintain it, Ajahn?
Yes, if you find it difficult to chant the whole chant, just use a short one like Bhutto instead. It's easier. Or Buddho Dhammo Sangho, Buddho Dhammo Sangho. Just go like this. Buddho Dhammo Sangho, Buddho Dhammo Sangho. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. You can modify your chanting to suit your mindfulness.
Okay, I will try it. And I think I see dukkha in my contemplation, Ajahn. There is dukkha everywhere. Even in happiness, there is also dukkha. In everyone, there is dukkha. Even people who are pursuing and succeeding are also like a sitting on a bonfire, ready to burn him or her. This is like a pessimist, and I feel that life in this world is meaningless, and I start to cry. Am I sad? No, I'm just looking at dukkha and starting to realize it. If I tell this to normal people, they will call me stupid, not enjoying life. But I am still living
It's not for you to tell people about this truth. It's for you to abandon them, to give them up, to live alone. That's the purpose of seeing dukkha. When you see the drink is dukkha, then you stop drinking that drink, right? If you see the food is giving you dukkha, then stop eating that food. That's the purpose of seeing dukkha, so you can give up things, not being attached to them or relying on them. You can live alone without having anything, as far as the mind is concerned. The mind doesn't need any sensual objects. It's only the body that you still have to look after. You still have to feed your body, but you don't have to have sensual objects to feed your mind with. If you see them as dukkha, then you just abandon. If you see a husband is dukkha, then you divorce him. Say, go away, I'll go away. You are dukkha, I don't want to be with you because you're giving me dukkha.
Actually, a little bit I have this feeling little bit, Ajahn, but I also still cannot do that.
So you don't see dukkha completely yet.
Yeah.
You still sukha, you still see happiness in your husband, right? Yes.
Because I still have a child.
Your child is also dukkha. Can you not see your child's dukkha also?
Yeah, I know.
Give it up to the orphanage. Give it up.
I still have a duty.
What happens if you die? If you die, what's going to happen to your child?
Yeah.
You ever ask this question?
They will live. They will still alive. If I die, they can still live.
Right. If you see everything is dukkha, then you should run away from them and go live alone in the monastery, far away from where they cannot trace you.
I really want to do it.
Like the Buddha, when he got a son, he said, "Oh, this is dukkha."
Yeah.
The Buddha said, "This is dukkha. It's bondage." So he ran away right away in the middle of the night, and not telling anybody where he was going, because had he told them, they would go after him, right?
It's true. But
right, you should look at the Buddha as our role model. If you want to become enlightened, if you want to go to Nibbana, you have to look at the Buddha as our role model. He saw dukkha just like you said you saw dukkha, but he did what he saw. Then he ran away from dukkha, but you don't. You still stay with dukkha. You still live in the house that is burning. See, the Buddha said, this house is burning. I have to get out of this house.
Yeah, that's true. So, what should I do?
Get out of the house. If the house is burning, what do you want to stay in the house for?
Yeah, it is so confusing me.
So you're not truly seeing dukkha. You only see it when you meditate. But when you come on meditation, when you see everything else, they don't turn out to be dukkha anymore, right?
Yeah, maybe like that. I just see it when I meditate. So it's just not really, Ajahn.
You have to apply what you see. You have to apply what you see in meditation in real life, in real time. When you see people or things, you say, "Oh, this is dukkha." But you don't see. You don't apply it. You don't apply what you see in your meditation in real life. So you're still attached to things and people.
Yeah, maybe I will do it when the right time. But
when is the right time? After you die, right? After you die, that's the right time. You give up everything when you die, right?
When I'm getting old, my child raised up.
You will never give up anything. Only time you'll give up is when you die.
Yeah, that's true. Run away is just like dying. Run away just like dying people, right?
No, you run away so that you can get to Nibbana. See? But when you die, you are forced to go away from things and people. But then you keep coming back for them because you come back because you still want to be with them again. So you have rebirth again.
Yeah.
So you have to do it voluntarily now before you die, not being forced to give them up when you die. You're forced, then you want to come back for them again. So you return, you have rebirth. But if you could give up voluntarily before you die, then you won't come back anymore, like the Buddha.
Am I have a chance to attain Sotapanna in still with condition still have family member, Ajahn?
It depends on your own determination. If you are determined, you can get whatever you want. If you want it bad enough, you'll get it. But if you don't want it bad enough, you won't get it.
Because I still cannot.
Don't blame other people. Blame yourself. Don't blame other people.
Yeah, maybe at the right time.
I don't know.
Someday.
No, this is not the way to think.
Yeah. Yeah, because what I see is really changed my vision now.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope one day
Yeah,
one day I will do it.
You might have to see dukkha more often than now. You only see it once in meditation. Once you come out of meditation, you forget. So it's not effective. You have to see it all the time.
Yeah, Ajahn.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Does anybody have any question? We can now have the second round. Those people who have. Okay, Satyaka, you raise your hand first.
I want you to kind of tell us I think there are a couple of questions today, and you're talking about the austere living conditions and folks thinking about Dhutunga and all those things. So can you just that you said at the temple you have like austere living conditions? Is that the thing that is afforded to the people who go with you in the first year, 1 year before even they're accepted? Do they get to live within that settings that you have? And could you tell us that the what is this austere conditions? I mean, back in Thailand, there that the students actually, I guess they undergo that, or what do you have there, like a kuti or is just 1 mile away from the temple, or how is it?
Well, the place where we have here, where I used to live for the last 30 years on the mountain, it's just made up of, we have some kutis, and we also have just platforms with roof and a walking path. No, and you have to, no, there are no walls on this platform, you know. You just have to use cloth to use it as a temporary wall. But it's a small platform, it's like about the size of a king-size bed. And you have a roof, and then that's where you sleep. And it's just on the hard floor. So that's where you meditate, and then nearby you have a walking path. And this is right in the midst of the forest without anything around you. You don't see anybody or anything. So it's like being in a Tudanga condition already without having to go. And this is easier because then you have a known source of food for you. You can go to, the temple has a place where we can go collect food. But if you go to Dutanga, you have to find a village where they will support you, so forth. So it's harder. So the teacher who has in the past who had gone to Dutanga then realized that maybe it's easier for their students to have a monastery, a forest monastery, where they can have what you call a virtual type of Dutanga environment, where they can practice without having to leave the monastery. They have living in a monastery with a teacher is also more beneficial than to go on your own, because sometimes you are doubtful, sometimes you don't know what to do. You can always ask your teacher. Or when you lose your inspiration after you listen to your teachers, or you just seeing your teacher can inspire you right away, bring you back. So this is why now in Thailand there are lots of Thai forest tradition monastery in which you can live and practice there without having to go away into the deep forest.
And don't the temperatures go down there? Or I mean, I have seen in the pictures that you have this it looks like an umbrella, and it has like a mosquito net around. I think
that's right. That's what you use. That's what you use for your sleeping gear. If you have no platform, no roof, then you use this umbrella with the mosquito net that covers around. You sit and meditate, and maybe you find a place somewhere on the ground, and you might use some leaves to cover the ground with, and then you just sit and meditate and sleep under there. And then you might ask a lay person, a villager, to help you make a walking path for your walking meditation. But this now you can have this inside a forest monastery, so you don't really need to go to walk. And if you feel like walking Dutanga, you can just walk on your meditation path, walk all day long. If you like, walk for 6 hours and pretending you're going on a Dutanga, trip.
And I thought that the Thai masters that they were actually not eager to send the students out until they are kind of ready to go on the Tunga on their own, right? So because they have in first 5 years they stay in close this thing with the teacher.
That's right. They need to develop a certain amount of mindfulness and samadhi first before they can go out on their own. See, one of the reasons why they go out on their own is because when you live in the monastery, you might still have to do some other work with the monastery to maintain the monastery. So sometimes it might take away your meditation time. So you want to go away alone and do it all day long without having to do any other work. But this is for more advanced more advanced student who may have 5 or 10 years already enrolled, and they feel that they need to go and live alone and not be bothered by any people or work other than just feeding himself. Then maybe going on a Dhutanga, it's like taking a sabbatical. If you are teaching or something and you feel your teaching work is overloading your other project, so you want to stop teaching for a while so that you can concentrate on your other project.
And also that as you talked about this, like how you factor in your like fasting. So that means if you have one meal and if you fast for a couple of days, then I think they kind of go together, right? Because it's conducive to meditation, and then you're also consuming less food. So that means it's kind of, even if you have something, then you can just sustain yourself, so to speak, really, right?
That's right. The less food you eat, it can also help push you to do more practice in order to deal with the hunger from the lack of food. You need stronger mindfulness. You need a calmer mind to be able to cope with your hunger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Kanachan. Yeah,
all
thank
right.
you.
Anybody else have any question?
Bruce Lee, he just coming in.
Evening, Ajahn. I have no question. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, no question.
Sulan.
You have questions, Sulan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question. Yeah, Ajahn, I just want to ask, how do we cope with our habitual tendencies?
Your habitual tendency?
Yeah.
You just have to resist it, that's all.
The mind will think of a certain way.
Then replace it with other ways. Think about doing other things. If you used to drinking some beverage, and you just switch it to just plain water. Every time you want to drink a soda, you say it's bad for your health, bad for your body. You say plain water is better for you. So you switch, you can switch. You can change the habit, but you have to force yourself to do it. If you're used to smoking and you want to stop smoking, then you just have to stop. And breathe clean air and say to yourself, it's better to breathe clean air than to breathe the smoke from the tobacco, which can cause cancer in your lung.
But what about if it's like a thinking, a thought process?
Yes, you use Bhutto. When you're thinking about something that you know is bad, then you sing Bhutto instead. Bhutto, Bhutto, or chant it episode. Until your bad thought stops, then you can stop chanting or stop reciting Bhutto. But as soon as your bad thought comes up again, then you recite the Bhutto again, the mantra again, or chant it, or do some chanting. Because chanting is also thinking. Reciting the mantra is also thinking. This can replace bad thoughts when they come up.
But why do all these bad thoughts come about?
Because you used to think like that. Maybe the condition in your past life,
Okay, yeah. Because somehow the mind will think that actually death is better because you can start afresh the next lifetime.
Yeah, you can think what you want to do.
But I know this is a very silly thought. Yeah, but I don't know why such thoughts would come up. As in, it's just thoughts. I'm aware of this.
Because they are free. That's why they keep coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you have to look at the consequence of your thoughts. If you think of bad thought, it makes you feel bad. If you think of good thought, it makes you feel good. If you think of neutral thought, it doesn't make you feel bad or feel good. which is better than feeling bad. That's why you need to use neutral thought to stop your bad thoughts. Like Buddha is a neutral thought. It's not, doesn't make you happy, it doesn't make you sad.
Yeah.
But it'll stop you from thinking about bad thoughts every time they come up.
Okay.
All right? Okay. Anybody else?
Thank you, Ajahn.
We have quite a lot of time left today.
Evie
again? Okay, Evie.
Yeah, Ajahn, I have a question. When I meet something dangerous, I still feel fear. Does that mean I don't have upekka?
Because you still want to live, so you don't want to die. But if you look at the truth and you say, you're gonna have to die.
Yeah, but I
So
still.
if you can accept the truth, then your fear will disappear.
Yeah, I scared to die because I am have nothing, because I still no have enlightenment or something, have no completing my practice, so I scared to die. Is that have a no upekka? Is that right, Ajahn?
Well, you need both. You need ubekka and you also need wisdom to see that death is unavoidable. No, regardless of whatever reason you give, when death comes, you won't listen to your reason, right? Oh, don't die! Don't let me die yet because I still have this thing to do. Death won't listen to you.
Yeah. Ajahn, I want to know, is life as a monk, even though the monk still have eyes, nose, mouth, ears, tongue, but in practice, is it like no wanting to use these five senses, like shutting down these five senses? Even though have eyes or seeing beautiful thing, it doesn't have effect to the mind. The mouth that say also have no effect to the mind. Ears hear bad or good things also no have effect to the mind. The tongue tastes good or bad food, no effect to the mind. And the nose smells good or smells bad, also no effect to the mind. It's just like shutting down these five senses, Ajahn.
Well, if you train the mind, then when the mind has equanimity or ubekka, then it will not react to these sensual objects. It will just merely be knowing the sensual objects for what they are, but they will not be react. The mind will not react with love or hate or fear or delusion. So you need ubekka to be able to come into contact with any type of sensual objects and not be affected by them.
So, if people with enlightenment are no have fear with the dangerous thing, Ajahn.
Yes, they understand. They know that nothing can hurt the minds. They know that nothing can hurt them because they're in the mind. They're not in the body.
They just die.
If you have no wisdom, you'll see that you are in the body. So that when things happen to the body, you think it's going to happen to you. But with an enlightened person, he sees or she sees that there's no you in the body. And there's no you in the mind either, really. The you or the I is created by your delusion, that's all, the mind delusion. All the mind is just a knowing, a thinking phenomena.
Okay, Ajahn. But still have to practice more and more, so don't scared to die, okay?
Yeah, you have to do more mindfulness and to get to ubekka. Once you have ubekka, then you can remain undisturbed by death. Okay.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah.
Anybody else would like to ask any question?
We have another question from Facebook.
Okay, Facebook.
Yes, we have 4 more questions from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์ First question from Tony. Dear Ajahn, good evening. In the Nikaya Sutta, to be a Sotapanna, just need to believe in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and practice Sila properly. Can this be the stream entry? Thank you.
No. This is the consequence of being a Sotapanna. It's not the other way around. You cannot be a Sotapanna by saying, "Oh, I believe in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and I'm keeping the 5 precepts." No, you cannot do this because it's not natural. It has to come naturally from within. By when you see the truth of the Dhamma, then there's no doubt in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. When you see the 4 noble truths arising when you have problem with your body, for instance, you're attached to your body, you have attachment, you have craving for your body, then you see that this is the cause of dukkha. Because when you have craving for your body, not to die, not to get sick, then you have dukkha, you feel bad, you feel disturbed. But then when you look at the truth that the body is just a body, there's no self in the body, and that is subjected to aging, sickness, and death. If you can see it clearly and accept this truth, then you can stop your craving or your desire not to die. Once you can stop this desire not to die, then the dukkha will disappear. You'll see this in real time in your mind. When something happens to your body, like when you are attacked or you're supposed to be killed or something like that, and we can see this 4 noble truths appearing, and you can use the last noble truth, which is the path, to stop the dukkha or stop your desire. Then you have got rid of your dukkha, your fear of death. Then you become enlightened. You see that the body is just a body. It's made up of the 4 elements. There's no me, no self in this body. When the body dies, you don't die with your body. Once you can see this, then you will have no doubt in the teaching of the Buddha, because this is exactly what the Buddha taught us to see, and we can see it clearly now. When the situation happens, when death is around the corner, you can see this 4 noble truths, and you can apply the 4 noble truths to get rid of your desire not to die, because you know that there's no way you can stop death, because death is knocking at your door now. So you just have to apply, you just have to comply, accept death. Once you do that, then your desire not to die will be eliminated. And once the desire is being eliminated, then the dukkha, that is the consequence of this desire, will also disappear. You see this, that then you become free, you become calm, peaceful, and not hurt by the death of the body. This is the meaning of seeing the Dhamma. Once you see the Dhamma, the Buddha said, "You'll see me." Whoever sees the Dhamma sees the Buddha. Whoever sees the Buddha sees the Dhamma. And the person who sees the Buddha, the Dhamma, is the Sangha. It's a noble person. It's a Sotapanna. So once you can get rid of your attachment to the body and feelings, then you become enlightened, the first level of enlightenment. Then your doubt about the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha will be completely eliminated. You have no doubt. You don't have to go to India to visit the 4 places to remind you that there was a Buddha. Because you can see the Buddha clearly in your mind through his teaching. The Buddha said, "He who sees my teaching sees me. He who sees me sees the teaching." Then he also, Asotamana also see that his dukkha arises from bad karma. When he did bad karma, he got dukkha. And also dukkha arises from his attachment or the cravings for things. So he will then abandon the way of getting rid of his dukkha by any other method, because they are all useless. Like rituals, like killing cows to alleviate the god because you're feeling bad and you think the god is punishing you, for instance. So you want to stop the god from punishing you by offering the god some offering, like killing something to offer to the god. You don't have to do this because you know these are not the cause of your dukkha. The cause of your dukkha comes from not keeping the precept, the 5 precepts, from doing bad karma. Then you, from that point onward, will forever keep the 5 precepts for the rest of your life. You will not break it. Because by breaking the precept is creating dukkha for yourself. So it's better to let the body suffer than to let the mind suffer. Because the body will have to suffer anyway, because this is natural for the body to get old, get sick, and to be subjected to all types of pain. But the mind doesn't have to be, it's not subjected to, if the mind can stop doing any bad karma. So this is what you have to see in order to be able to say that you have no doubt in the Buddha. You believe truly in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, that they truly existed. And then you know that nothing can cause you from having stress or depression. The only thing that causes you stress or depression are your bad karma and your desire, your cravings for things. So you come back and deal with this by, if you have bad feelings, you have depression, you come back and search for the cause, and you find it's your craving, your desire for something. When you desire for something and you cannot get that something, you become unhappy, right? But if you change your mind, say, okay, I don't want it anymore, then you won't feel unhappy anymore. You don't have to perform any rites or rituals to get rid of your bad feelings. You don't have to go drink. You don't have to go smoke a pot or something to make you get rid of your bad feelings. You just have to stop your cravings or your bad karma. That's all.
Next question from Yi Song So. Ajahn, could you help explain for a foreigner to ordain in Thailand? What will the visa application process be like? Referring to the possibility of long-term ordination in Thailand, will the visa for foreigner be possible?
This you have to contact the Thai consulate in your country, or the embassy in your country, and ask for them for the information as far as visas are concerned. And as far as ordination, you have to go to each individual Thai monastery and talk to the abbot of that monastery in the condition that will allow you to ordain in the monastery. I cannot give you a general information here. You have to contact the people involved.
So, question from Simon. Dear Ajahn, I have been contemplating about death sometimes. Life is short and we don't know when it is our time to pass away. I have personally witnessed sudden death of my relatives. When a person dies, it has been said that you can know what realms of existence he will pass into by looking at his face. Is it true to some extent?
I don't know. Each individual has a certain special ability. But you don't know whether they're speaking the truth or not. So it's hard to say whether the person really knows or just trying to pretend that he knows. So it's better not to worry about it. Which level that spirit goes. If that's not your business anyway. You should worry about your own spirit, where you're gonna go better.
And second question, When a person died, would the mind still be pleasant, as though we close our eyes, but our mind is still aware? Thank you.
Yes, it's like sleeping. When you die, it's just like sleeping. Your mind enter into the dream world and start dreaming all you want. But you cannot control your dreams, because the things that will control your dreams are your good and bad karma. So you have lots of good karma, you have good dreams. If you have lots of bad karma, you have bad dreams. And they are real because they're like virtual world. You know? It's like when you sleep, when you dream, you think you're in the real world, right? When you dream, you don't think you are dreaming, right? You only find out afterwards when you're awake, oh, that was just a dream. But when it actually happened, you thought it was really real. So this is what happened when we all die. Our mind will enter into the dream world. And the types of dream we will have depends on the good and bad karma that we perform while we are still alive. So if you want to have good dreams, do a lot of good karma. And you don't want any bad dreams, don't do any bad karma. That's all simple. And if you don't want to be dreaming forever, then you have to practice meditation and wisdom to become awakened from your dream forever.
Three more questions just come.
Okay, keep coming.
So question from Batan. Pante, using mantra Putto, 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 reciting very, very fast to make my mind no give chance for other thoughts appear, and will make my mind focus without other thoughts appear. Is that correct tactic or not?
Yes, if it works for you, if it can calm your mind down. Sometimes you might have to do it faster, but you have to realize that eventually you're gonna get tired and you have to slow down again. You cannot repeat very fast all the time, but it can be an antidote for a restless mind. Yeah. Once your mind calm down, then you can also slow down your mantra. So you can adjust your mantra speed accordingly, according to the level of the mental agitation that you have, or restlessness that you have. And if your mind become less restless, then you can also slow down the speed of your mantra. Or you can even stop if your restlessness stop, then you don't have to recite the mantra anymore.
And second question is, this mantra Putto, meaning awaken, make my mindfulness stronger, even when I riding motorbike or drive car, and make my mind knowing my mindfulness run out to other, though when mantra disappear. Can Pante teach me what tactics will make this mantra automatic repeating using when wake up in memories without disappear when awake from sleeping? Thank you.
Practice makes perfect. So you have to keep practicing. Eventually it will become automatic. It will stay in your mind all the time. Like memorizing the multiplication table. If you keep remembering the multiplication table, eventually you'll remember it. Then anytime you want to multiply, then you can it will come out automatically. Same way with Bhutto. Once you have established it inside your mind, then anytime you want to use Bhutto, it will come automatically without having to force it.
And the last question from Lim Kim Heng. Thanachan, I read an article by one venerable on meditation. It's mentioned that don't just be aware wisely. Use your intelligence. Can Thanachan explain what the statement means?
It means you're on the second level. First, you be aware only first. Once you can establish being aware only first, then the next thing is to be aware wisely by studying the three characteristics of existence, by being aware that everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. That is being aware wisely. But you cannot do both at the same time when you first study. First, you just want to be aware, to stop thinking first. Once you can stop your thinking, then you can direct your thought to think of anicca, dukkha, anatta. If not, your mind will want to think the opposite way. You will still want to think about niccang, sukhang, atta. Oh, this is good, this is beautiful, this is for me, this will last, this belongs to me, it will stay with me forever. This is the normal way of our thoughts. So we want to stop this type of thinking first. Once we can stop this thinking, then we have to teach it to think the opposite way. Think that this thing will hurt you if you possess it. This is because they don't last forever, because they don't really belong to you. They all belong to nature. They come from nature and they will go back to nature sooner or later. So you want to reverse the thinking process from thinking that everything is good, everything belongs to you, to think that everything is bad, everything doesn't belong to you.
That's all, ท่านอาจารย์
Yes, that's all. Okay, that's about all the time. 5 more minutes left. Anybody else care to ask any question? Okay, if not, then I can. Sulan again? Okay, Sulan.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah, I just wanted to ask, like, how do we make sure that, life after life until, like, we are able to meet the triple gem? Yeah.
Can you repeat again, please?
Yeah, my question is that how do we ensure that life after life we will be able to meet the triple gem?
You cannot ensure it because the future is never certain. So you cannot predict what the future will be like. So don't give up the opportunity now. We have a perfect opportunity now. You have met the triple gem now. So why throw it away now and hope for the triple gem in your future? Because you might not get it. It's like winning you have won a lottery ticket now. Why don't you go and cash the prize and instead of throwing it away and expect to win again in the next time? Okay.
Yeah.
Meeting the triple gem is like winning a lottery jackpot. It doesn't happen all the time. It's not easy. So when you have one, you should go claim the prize, not just throw it away and say, "Oh, I'll wait for the next round." That is being stupid, right?
Yeah, but then because I think it's not that easy to become Sotapanna in this lifetime.
Because you are lazy now, and you think you won't be lazy in your next life. You'll be the same. If you don't change now, you'll be the same in your next life. So do it now. You have won the lottery ticket now. Go claim the prize. Why throw it away and expect the next draw to win again in the next draw? Because it's nearly impossible to come across the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. It doesn't happen every lifetime of a human being. So you are lucky. You have won the lottery ticket. So go and cash the prize now before it's too late.
Yeah,
you're lucky. You're still young. You're 30 or something. You still got plenty of time. So you should try to make good use of your time now. Don't wait until you die, or wait until the next life.
I cannot hear you already.
Maybe my. Can anybody hear me? Nobody. Or you can still hear me, except Sue.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So do it now. You can do it. Yeah. You have the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha guiding you right now. So what are you waiting for? You can do from a small step first. Like tell yourself, I'm going to keep the 5 precepts now, and I'm going to give dana every day. Say put $1 in a box somewhere and say this is for dana. And then when you have that opportunity to do some charity, then you take the money, then you put in the box. But you can practice without, you can go slow. But you should start. You shouldn't wait. Because if you don't start, you'll never start. once you start, then you'll keep moving, you keep going forward.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Thank
I
you,
think that's
Ajahn.
about all the time we have for tonight. It's about almost 10 o'clock right now here in Thailand. Well, thank you very much for your attendance. I hope this meeting is of some benefit and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep practicing the Dhamma. If nothing changes, nothing goes wrong, I'll see you again next week. Goodbye for now.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
สาธุท่านอาจารย์
Thank you, Ajahn.
Sadhu,
Thank you,
sadhu,
Ajahn.
good days for you.
Bye, good luck. Bye, Gamin. Thank you.
Thank you ครับอาจารย์ลา Thank you bye bye
Thank you very much.
Everyone.